Wisdom isn't found in ancient texts gathering dust on a shelf. It is forged in the trenches of your daily routine. Most people wander through life reacting to whatever chaotic stimulus comes their way, letting the world dictate their mood, their focus, and their worth. Today, we are breaking down 15 original modern maxims for radical mental discipline, complete with deep, tactical blueprints on how to live them out in your day-to-day life. But before we begin, make sure you like and subscribe for more modern Stoic lessons to live by. The illusion of urgency. The fire that spreads the fastest leaves behind the least substance. Do not let the speed of an emergency dictate the weight of your response. Stop letting other people's panic hijack your nervous system and ruin your peace. The lesson to live by: urgency is almost always manufactured. When someone screams fire, your first job isn't to run, it is to check if there are actual flames. Everyday application. In the workplace, when an executive or client marks an email as urgent or pings you with a frantic demand, do not instantly drop what you are doing. Force a strict 10-second cognitive pause before you reply. Realize that 90% of workplace emergencies are simply the result of someone else's poor planning or emotional reactivity. In relationships, when a partner or family member brings high drama, rapid-fire stress into your space, consciously lower your vocal tone and slow your breathing. By refusing to match their acceleration, you act as an anchor, forcing the entire room to slow down to your pace. The architecture of envy. Envy is the strange tax we pay on an imagination we refuse to use for ourselves. Every time you scroll past someone else's success and feel a bitter sting, you are actively robbing your own future. The lesson to live by: envy is wasted creative energy. It is your mind acknowledging what you are capable of, but refusing to put in the lonely hours to build it. Everyday application. On social media, the moment you feel a twinge of jealousy towards someone's physique, business, or lifestyle online, stop scrolling immediately. Treat that feeling as a diagnostic tool. Strip away the emotion and ask yourself, am I jealous of their actual grind, or do I just want the trophy? The pivot to take that exact burst of emotional energy and channel it into one concrete, high-friction task for your own long-term goals that you have been procrastinating on. Turn bitterness into fuel. The currency of attention. To argue with a closed mind is to pay rent in a building you do not own. You are bleeding your most valuable resource, mental energy, on people who aren't even living in reality. The lesson to live by: trying to win an argument against someone committed to misunderstanding you is a form of self-sabotage. You cannot logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into. Everyday application. In debates and discussions, pay close attention to the exact moment a conversation shifts from an honest exchange of ideas to an ego battle. The second you realize the other person is defending an identity rather than seeking truth, disengage. The execution: do not raise your voice, do not throw a final jab, and do not ruminate on the argument later in the shower. Simply drop the rope. Say, "We see this differently," and redirect your mental bandwidth back to your own creative output and responsibilities. The weight of expectations. Hope is a precision tool. When used broadly, it becomes an anchor that drags you down. Blind optimism is just as dangerous as pessimism. It sets you up for constant, preventable heartbreak. The lesson to live by: hoping things will work out without building the structural systems to support them is just daydreaming with a deadline. Everyday application. In goal setting, stop hoping for great results, great clients, or great luck. Shift your vocabulary entirely from "I hope" to "I have engineered." The execution: before launching any project, map out the absolute worst-case scenarios. Build redundancies, backup plans, and strict daily execution metrics. Hope for the absolute best, but build your life so that even if everything goes wrong, your systems keep moving forward without skipping a beat. The mirror of criticism. A harsh judgment from a stranger is merely an echo of their own unhealed interior. Pick it up only if it fits your workshop. Stop letting random opinions from people you wouldn't trade lives with ruin your entire week. The lesson to live by: most criticism has nothing to do with your performance and everything to do with the critic's internal turbulence. Everyday application. Handling critics and trolls. When someone leaves a biting comment, insults your work, or tries to tear you down, run their words through a strict two-step filter before letting them affect you. The filter asks, is this person objective, qualified, and invested in my growth? If the answer is no, drop their opinion instantly like a hot coal. If the answer is yes, take the raw data, discard their emotional delivery, and use it to sharpen your craft. Never internalize feedback from someone you wouldn't go to for advice. The mastery of boredom. Deep focus is a quiet rebellion against a world that profits from your distraction. Your inability to sit in silence for 5 minutes is destroying your capacity for greatness. The lesson to live by: the modern economy monetizes your attention span. If you can reclaim your ability to be bored, you possess a superpower that 99% of people have lost. Everyday application. Daily focus blocks. Carve out a mandatory 90-minute window every single day where your phone is locked away in another room, notifications are killed, and tabs are closed. The mental endurance: when the inevitable itch to check your phone arises, do not give in. Sit with that discomfort. Let your brain push past the initial wave of restlessness. On the other side of that boredom lies elite problem-solving, deep work, and absolute clarity. The myth of control. You cannot steer a ship by shouting at the wind. You can only adjust your sails. You are exhausting yourself by trying to control things that were never yours to manage in the first place. The lesson to live by: frustration is the direct result of demanding that reality conform to your preferences. True power lies in radical acceptance and immediate adaptation. Everyday application. When life disrupts your plans, whenever a flight gets cancelled, an economic shift hits your income, or unexpected roadblocks ruin your timeline, stop complaining about the weather. The audits take a mental inventory instantly. Separate reality into 2 columns: things I can directly change and things happening to me. Completely abandon the second column. Do not waste a single calorie of emotional energy wishing things were different. Pour 100% of your focus into optimizing your response to the hand you've been dealt. The power of silence. The loudest voice in the room is usually trying to drown out the emptiness of its own argument. The most powerful people in any room are almost never the ones trying to prove they belong there. The lesson to live by: insecurity shouts, confidence whispers. When you feel the need to dominate every conversation, you are actually broadcasting your internal need for validation. Everyday application. In meetings and social settings, practice strategic restraint. The next time you are in a high-stakes meeting or a heated group discussion, force yourself to listen twice as much as you speak. Let others rush to fill the awkward silences. The impact when you finally do speak: make sure your words are concise, well-considered, and heavy with substance. You will instantly notice how much more authority, respect, and gravity your presence commands when you stop wasting your voice on filler. The trap of comfort. Smooth seas forge no captains. Comfort is a gentle poison that numbs the edge of your potential. The very safety and ease you are chasing are slowly eroding your mental and physical fortitude. The lesson to live by: growth only lives on the other side of friction. If your life is completely devoid of physical or mental resistance, you are actively degrading your resilience. Everyday application. Voluntary hardship. Deliberately introduce micro-discomforts into your daily schedule to keep your edge sharp. Take a freezing cold shower to start your morning, wake up 30 minutes earlier than your baseline, or read a dense, complex book that challenges your core assumptions. The objective is to train your nervous system to realize that discomfort is not a threat to run from. It is the exact gym where mental toughness is built. The horizon of time. Regret is staring backward at an open door. Anxiety is staring forward through a wall that hasn't been built yet. You are living in two places at once, and neither of them is real. The lesson to live by: the past is unchangeable ink, and the future is an unwritten ghost. The only domain where you possess an ounce of actual power is right here, right now. Everyday application. Interrupting the spiral. The moment you catch your mind looping over past mistakes or catastrophizing about future uncertainties, use a physical grounding technique. The anchor: plant your feet flat on the floor, physically press your hands against your desk, name 3 physical objects you can see, and take 1 deep, deliberate diaphragmatic breath. Remind yourself out loud, this exact second is the only battlefield where I can win. The true meaning of wealth. A rich man who requires constant entertainment is a pauper with a full bank account. If you can't be alone with your own thoughts for an hour without reaching for a screen, you are fundamentally broke where it matters most. The lesson to live by: external luxury is a cheap substitute for internal peace. If your happiness relies on constant stimulation, you are a slave to your environment. Everyday application. Auditing stimulation: go cold turkey on background noise for a day. Walk without a podcast, eat without watching a video, and drive in total silence. Building solitude: force yourself to spend an afternoon unentertained with just a notepad and a pen. Rebuild your capacity to find contentment in quietness so that your baseline mood is dictated by your character, not your consumption. The architecture of failure. Failure is not a verdict on your character. It is raw data delivered straight to your workshop. You aren't failing because you're inadequate. You're failing because you haven't processed the feedback yet. The lesson to live by: the ego views failure as a personal indictment. The Stoic mind views failure as market research. Every setback is simply instructions on what needs to be redesigned. Everyday application. Post-mortem analysis. When a business venture, a fitness goal, or a personal relationship collapses, completely banish self-pity and the word failure from your vocabulary. The execution: sit down with a notebook and treat the breakdown like an engineer evaluating a mechanical failure. Write down exactly what broke, why it broke, and what variable you need to change in the next iteration. Then, immediately execute the updated plan without looking back. The mask of approval. Seeking applause from the crowd is trading your compass for a weather vane. The moment you design your life around what other people applaud, you become a prisoner of their changing moods. The lesson to live by: public opinion is a fickle, hollow master. If you build your life to impress the crowd, you will have to change who you are every time the wind shifts. Everyday application. The integrity filter. Before making any major career choice, creative project, or lifestyle change, pause and ask yourself, if no one else in the world ever found out about this, would I still choose it? The execution: if the answer is no, cut it loose. Build your self-respect entirely on internal standards, your own code of ethics and execution that cannot be touched, validated, or destroyed by the opinions of strangers. The paradox of patience. Rushing the harvest ruins the soil. Mastery loves the quiet rhythm of compound effort. You are quitting right before the compounding effect is about to change your life forever. The lesson to live by: impatience is a lack of faith in your own systems. Desiring overnight success forces you to take shortcuts that destroy your foundation. Everyday application. Embracing the mundane, stop hunting for hacks, shortcuts, and viral moments. Fall completely in love with the boring, repetitive, unglamorous daily inputs of your craft. The long view: trust that invisible, tiny 1% improvements executed consistently over years will compound into results that look like absolute magic to the outside world. Focus entirely on today's execution and let time do the heavy lifting. The ultimate sovereign. The final tyranny is the one you impose upon yourself through unexamined habits. Break them before they build your cage. You are your own worst warden, locking yourself in a prison built entirely of autopilot choices. The lesson to live by: most people don't get trapped by external forces. They get slowly strangled by their own unexamined routines, vices, and reactions. Everyday application. The monthly life audit. Once every 30 days, lock yourself in a room and review your life like an outside consultant. Look at your phone screen time, your morning routine, your diet, your inner circle, and your automatic behavioral triggers. The purge. Ask yourself ruthlessly, which of these habits are actively serving my highest potential, and which ones are keeping me small? Cut the dead weight without hesitation, reset your standards, and step back into the driver's seat of your own mind. If this framework resonated with you, hit subscribe and drop a comment below telling me which of these 15 principles you are applying to your life today. Master your mind, and the world will adjust. See you in the next one.